ST 2016. This is interviews, music reviews, and more. This is The Hotter Show.
What is up, everybody? We are rolling out of here today in episode 298 of The Hotter Show. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you so very much for tuning in and clicking that play button on today's episode of the podcast. I got a really kick-ass episode for you here today, which I do every single week right here on The Hotter Show. I am doing a music showcase of Maitreya's brand new record, Hyperreels, that just came out last week. And of course, if you tuned into the show last week, you know that I had the guitarist, songwriter, and actually producer of Maitreya, Mr. Mark Wylie, on the show, and he dove into a lot about the recording process and the writing process of this record, as well as some really cool tidbits about the record, and he showed us some stems and things like that from the recording process. So if you haven't checked out my chat with Mark Wylie, I highly implore you to go back and check that out, because it was a really fun chat, and you're going to learn a lot about this record. But if not, Maitreya are a badass band, and you're really going to enjoy this episode. Without further ado, we're just going to jump right in here. Don't have a lot to ramble on about today in the intro. Let's get into it. Alright, gang, so for those of you who are not familiar, Maitreya are a prog metal band from Whitby, Ontario, Canada, and they are a really badass band full of some very talented cats. And man, let me tell you, this record is, from top to bottom, absolutely badass, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. If you are a fan of heavy music in general, but maybe not much of a prog fan, I think you're going to like it. A lot of the songs are very digestible, and what I mean by that is with a lot of prog music, there'll be like, there's an old joke that actually shouts to my Uncle Tom, who he told me this joke about prog, and he's a huge prog fan and everything, so it's just a tongue-in-cheek thing. But he says, yeah, this one song's really good. It gets great about 15 minutes in. Which is something that, for me, I do really enjoy prog, but I'm not so much a fan of 30-minute long songs. I mean, sometimes, I guess it depends on the mood that I'm in, but these songs are very digestible. I think the longest song's like 7 minutes on this record, so you're really going to enjoy it if you are a fan of a little bit more digestible prog. It is, by the way, it's actually 7 minutes and 23 seconds. It's the longest track. But man, Hyperreels is badass. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Be sure to go support Maitreya. The spelling of that is Maitreya. Their Bandcamp is maitreyametal.bandcamp.com. Go check out Hyperreels. Go pick it up. Support the band. They definitely deserve your support. That's what I did. I went on the Bandcamp and purchased this album. That's how much I enjoy it. That's something I always try and do. Anytime I have a band here on the show, if I can support them either with merch or with buying the record, I always try to do that, because it is very important, especially as we head into shows starting to slowly come back here in Ontario, Canada. I'm hoping to see bands like Maitreya perform live. I'm very excited, so we will see what happens. But that's a conversation for another time, because we are going to jump in head first into this album showcase here. For those of you who are not familiar with the album showcase, it's basically what I do is I am going to play the full record front to back, no interruptions. I'm going to give you the track listing, then play the whole thing. Then afterwards, I'm going to pick my 3 favorite tracks, which is always a little bit tricky on a full record. And then I'm going to kind of give my overall thoughts, if you will. Now, I am not a professional music critic or anything like that. I always like to keep things positive. That's why I call these showcases and not reviews. That's one thing that someone messaged me about the other day. They said, man, I really enjoyed your show. I can't recall the last showcase I did off the top of my head here. They're like, man, you didn't really review anything. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? What is a review? Like, well, I wanted to hear you critique something. And I'm like, but there's nothing to critique. I enjoy everything. Why would I make up something to critique? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's funny. My critiques back in the day used to be really stupid. It'd be like, I just wish that this one song was 30 seconds longer. It'd always be stupid stuff. So I was like, you know what? We're going to go with the showcase ideology here on the Hotter Show, because we're all about spreading the word of great music, and not just music, but we have a lot of other cool stuff here on the show. But I started this podcast, now that we're rounding up on 300, I started this podcast as a way to showcase musicians, interview musicians, talk with musicians. That was really what got this show started. That's something I'm very passionate about, just like I am passionate about this record that we are going to jump into here. So I'm going to give you guys a track listing, and then you're going to hear Hyperreals in its entirety. So we have 10 songs. First off, we have Catalyst. Then we have Departed. Then we have Radical. Then we have Summit. Then we have Invaders. Then we have Bloom. Then Pilgrim. Flesh Engine, which is one of the most badass titles ever for a heavier track. We have Hyperreals. And then we have, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, so I'm just going to spell it out for you. Iswara. Iswara, something like that, which is the last track. So 10 songs, all of which are bangers. I highly recommend you guys throw on a good pair of headphones, sit, chill, and really truly enjoy this record. Don't sit on your phone and scroll through social media. Just sit and really enjoy this record. Take it all in. This is badass. So crank it up. This is Hyperreals by Maitreya right here on the Harder Show Music Showcase.
I must be decisive. feel the decay. We are at war within ourselves. United, we must cooperate, not compete. We must have concern, not condemnation. We must enable ourselves to feel connected, not just for ourselves. If you attempt to numb the pain, you are doomed to succumb and remain. This mass hysteria won't take us down. Our inner spirit will continue on and on. We are not these false bodies. We are all connected. We will realize what it means to be awake.
Our
Yeah, you. Listen to The Harder Show right now. Are you in a band? Maybe you're a business owner of some kind, a performer, maybe a pro wrestler, an event promoter, an athlete, or maybe you're just an everyday person who needs some photo editing done. You need a great graphic design guy, and have I ever got the hookup for you? My man and close personal friend, Mr. Jason Reese from Jaybird Digital Arts. Whether you need logos, t-shirts, stickers, tickets, business cards, banners, menu, brochures, flyers, posters, Facebook banner videos, door hangers, photo editing and restoration, print ads, lyric video editing, signs, notepads, window clings, letterhead, bookmarks, programs, magnets, greeting cards, calendars, rack cards, invitations, envelopes, pens. Jason will work with you to develop a style that is unique to you and that tells everybody just how special your business, event, or you personally are, and you will stand out from the crowd. On top of the fact that he does offer free delivery between Cobourg, Ontario and Kingston, Ontario, message him today right now for a free quote. That's right, a free quote. Tell him about your idea. You got something outside the box, he will make it happen. With great rates and service, you cannot go wrong. I've used Jason literally for everything over the past 3.5 years, and I cannot say enough good things about the man himself and his work. So contact him today on the web at jaybirddigitalarts.com or on social media under Jaybird Digital Arts. That's Jaybird digitalarts.com. You can also email him at jaybird.digital.arts@gmail.com. And always keep in mind that his business is successful when your business looks good. Alright gang, there you have it. That was Hyperreels by Maitreya in its entirety. Hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. Welcome back from the roller coaster ride to outer space. Man, what a badass record. I'll give you the track listing one more time here. So the first track we had was Catalyst. Then we had Departed. Then we had Radical. Then Summit. Invaders. Bloom. Pilgrim. Flesh Engine. Hyperreels, and then the last track, Iswara. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm absolutely butchering that. I couldn't find any pronunciations on Google, but the spelling of that is Iswara. So I sincerely apologize if I'm just destroying that, but that's kind of my gimmick here on the show. But man, Hyperreels, what can I say? Absolutely badass record. I hope that you guys enjoyed listening to it as much as I did. But now I am tasked here on the Harder Show Music Showcase with picking 3 tracks that I think are my favorites. And let me tell you, anytime I do a full record, which to me is 5 songs or more, I think traditionally it's 6 songs or more, but I usually say about 5. The EP, of course, being more of an extended play, quote unquote, where there's, less songs. Anytime I do a full album, it's always tricky because with like an EP that say has 4 songs, generally speaking, there's always 3 that stand out to me. That's why I choose to pick 3 songs that I really enjoy. Instead of doing a breakdown of every single song, I kind of do these as I would, speaking with my buddy. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I do this because you guys are my buddies, and I don't want to tell you about this stuff and what I like about it. So I pick my 3 favorite tracks. And man, let me tell you, my 3 tracks that I'm picking from this record, some of you who know me, it might not be a huge surprise, but if you checked out my episode with Mark last week, who of course is the guitar songwriter and producer for this badass record, you will have heard and seen on the video version on the Harder Show YouTube channel that Mark actually shared a stem from the recording process of Hyperreels of the song Summit. And it really shows off the vocalist Matt's talent because he has like a 3-4 part harmony that is insane. And that's why I have to pick Summit as one of my favorite songs on this record. Now, I'm blessed in my life to know some very talented musicians. However, it's really rare that a vocalist blows me away to the point where I'm literally speechless. And the vocal prowess that Maitreya vocalist Matt shows off on Summit is just insane. I like the dynamics of the track overall, but man, for me, the vocal prowess that he shows off going from the heavy distorted vocals to like operatic cleans is just, it blows me away. And that harmony section, as I mentioned, like, holy cow, man, let me tell you, I thought that was two other vocalists involved with that recording process. And if you told me it was two other vocalists involved with that recording process, I would have been like, yeah, that makes sense. He goes, middle, really high, really low. And I mean, literally, it sounds like three different vocalists. So big shouts to Matt, man. He is a beast, an absolute beast. And it really, truly blows me away. And if you haven't yet, you guys should go check out the vocal sing through, I guess. Usually they call them playthroughs on Maitreya's YouTube channel of him doing a live rendition of this song. And let me tell you, watching him do it with like he makes it look easy. And it's just like, holy shit, this dude is very, very talented. So big shout outs to Matt, but also just the music, the riffage, the dynamics of the song. I really, really enjoy it. So then the next song I want to talk about is Departed. And musically speaking, it's definitely my favorite track on the album. You guys who know me or listen to the show regularly, you know the kind of music I like. I'm very straightforward. I like a good riff. You can repeat that riff the whole song if it's a good enough riff for me. And some straightforward heavy riffage was just what the doctor ordered at this point in the track listing, as Departed is, when you start off with such an epic song like Catalyst, which is a great song. I love Catalyst too. That was my fourth pick if I could have four. I really needed something that was straightforward, just some good heavy riffage, and Departed really brings it on that. It was just what the doctor ordered, and it has loads of it. Not to mention, as far as like guitar work, I mean, I'm a guitar guy, that's my thing. Some of my favorite lead parts on the whole record in the solo section, or the two solo sections, I guess, or three, or however many you want to say, I really, really enjoyed that. So big shouts to all the guys, because that's just a badass song musically. I really enjoy it. Obviously, as well, the drums and bass section, rhythm section. I mean, come on. Badass track. Vocally, badass track. Absolutely love Departed. And the final song that I am picking as my favorite, and my favorite on the whole record. And this was a bit of a surprise for me, because I tend to like either the song that gives me goosebumps or the song that is just straightforward, really heavy. But this track surprised me because it has a little bit of everything thrown in. And that song, my favorite song on Hyperreels by Maitreya, that you just heard right here on the Harder Show Music Showcase, is Pilgrim. It's the chorus, showing off some more, shall we say, sing-along inducing melodies. Pilgrim is without a doubt the most accessible song on the album. And I have been humming and singing this chorus back to myself for how long has it been out now? This is the second week, but Pilgrim came out before because it was a single. And when I heard Pilgrim, I have been singing. It's been a couple months now, I think, at least, or a few weeks, or a couple weeks, or whatever. However long it's been, pretty much every day at one point of the day, I hear myself going, and I'm like, that's how you know it's a good song. If it gets stuck in my head and I sing along to myself to the point where like I'm like walking around my job humming it to myself, and someone's like, what are you singing? And I'm like, that's how you know it is an absolutely great song. The song has been like haunting me. Okay, that's how great that this song is. And again, as great as the vocals and the hook is and everything, it's the diverse instrumentation too, the guitar work, that riff. I mean, come on, the movement. It is just a slam dunk for me, for sure, without a doubt, my favorite track on the whole record. How can it not be? Huge shout to the guys for Pilgrim. I think that is, anytime I show, and the thing is for me too, anytime I pick one song that's my favorite from an album, usually that's the song I show people. And I showed Pilgrim to my buddy, who is not really a big prog fan, but he likes some different bands that kind of have prog elements. And he really, really liked this song. This is the song he kept going back to. he was like, this is a great song. And I'm like, yes, it is. So big shouts to the guys. And as far as Hyperreal's overall, kind of my snapshot thoughts on it, Hyperreal's is an absolute journey in the best of ways, ranging from almost epic operatic goosebump inducing moments to just downright, for lack of a better term, brutally heavy passages, and literally everything in between. This record has something for every type of heavy music fan, or just music fan, honestly. Blistering guitar work, heavy yet tasteful drum work, impressive bass lines, and some next level vocal talents. Maitreya are definitely a cut above the rest, with some songs that are full of hooks and dynamics like Pilgrim, to the more heavy prog elements like tracks on Departed. Maitreya are an absolute force to be reckoned with and aren't afraid to take their listeners on a roller coaster of emotions like they do on Hyperreal's. So I hope that you guys enjoyed Hyperreal's. I know I did. I know I'm going to be jamming this record for a long time to come. Big shouts again to Mark from Maitreya for coming on the show last week. Again, if for some reason you did not hear my interview or see my interview with Mark, excuse me, I think I just called him Matt, but Mark Wylie, be sure to go back and check it out. It was last week's episode 297. I think you are really, really going to enjoy it because we do learn a lot about this record and the recording and writing process, as well as just some really cool, candid moments from Mark. He plays us, again, some stuff from the record, some raw stems from the record, and then he also has a little jam along at the end there to a solo cover he's working on. So go check that out and check out Maitreya, man. They definitely deserve your support. Big shouts to Maitreya. Thank you guys so very much for allowing me the opportunity to share Hyperreal's with my listeners. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to get the guys on, all the guys on sometime. That's something that's I don't usually like to do full band interviews, but I would love to have a chat with all those guys. Just break everything down and just have a chat. And prog has always fascinated me because I am not a musician in the sense of I am not trained. I do not know time signatures that well. I don't know theory or anything. So for me to listen to a band like Maitreya and the raw talent they have, it blows me away. And I always want to learn more about that. And that's something that definitely heading into the next 300 episodes, hopefully, of the Otter Show, that's something I think I want to explore a little bit more. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. There's a lot of stuff I have planned for the future of the Hotter Show as we round in just around the bend from the episode 300. And man, it's going to be a lot of fun. For episode 300, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I have something planned. It's not going to be a live cast. It's an interview. And it is an interview that has been a long time coming. It wasn't the original plan I had for episode 300, but because of lockdown, that wasn't able to happen. So we are still going to make that happen at some point in person, and it's going to be badass. But just the timing is off a little bit on it. And let me tell you, though, the interview that I have planned for episode 300, well, not that I have planned, it's in the bag. It's done. And it is going to be freaking awesome. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I'll give you a little hint right now. It is a local business here in Peterborough that I talk about all the time. And anyone who knows me, that should give you a good enough hint as to who it is. We're going to do something really, really cool around episode 300 that will be coming out July 15th with them as well. So I'm very, very excited. And also, I think we're still going to do a live cast because I just love doing live casts. So I'm thinking next week, probably on Saturday, the 12th, 11th, whatever. When you guys are hearing this, not the Saturday coming up this week, but the Saturday after, I'm thinking that's going to be the live cast, episode 299. Saturday night's all right for a live cast part 2, y'all, because I had so much fun doing that, hanging out with you guys. It's not going to be quite as late as the last one was, probably like around 5 o'clock or 6:30 or something like that. We'll have a couple brewskis and just hang out with you guys. So hope that you will tune into that. But until then, thank you guys so very much for tuning in. But hit that subscribe button. Leave a follow if you can. Leave a like if you can. Leave a rating if you can. It helps me so very much. So thank you. I very much appreciate it. Be sure to leave me a like and follow me on the Facebook and the Instagram. And I will catch you next time on The Harder Show. Take it easy, guys.